Way in Brooklyn, New York. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com, but call me Mo Better, because I'm going to have you seeing Mo Better, looking Mo Better, and show everyone else how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses when I cut the transitions. Extra Active Gray with Crizal Prevencia. For your Oakley 8136, the Crosslink Fit color 03 satin pavement in the 53 eye size. I apologize, I can't see what you guys are seeing. Hopefully you saw all that. Let me start off by saying I am an authorized Oakley dealer, but as a small independent optician, I've been told I'm not legally allowed to post pictures of the frames with prices on my website. So you can do what Way did. Contact me by email or call me. Numbers and the emails on the website. Tell me what frame you want, the model number, size, color. I'll check on the price and availability for you. This is the giant case that comes with the Crosslink Fit because you get an extra pair of temples. Of course, you got your Oakley cleaning cloth that is tucked in there. And this is the frame. You even get, you can change out the the bridge on there depending on what you want. And I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. They slide right on. They literally pull on one side and it will pop right off. There's a little, almost like a cleat for when you're tying up a boat on a dock. And I do the same thing to put it back on. Start at the top, pull downward, and it'll pop right back on there. And that's how you change them out. But this is the Crosslink Fit. It's called that because when you press this tab, that pops out, and then you can take the temple. Come on, pop off, right off. There you go. It has that little piece that will bite on there. That'll crimp on, lock it on. This removes it by pressing that. You can take the extra temple. Ooh, I got lucky. That is the right one. Same thing, you have an extra temple when you don't want to rock the color. You can go a little bit more conservative and then press that in. It pushes on there straight. Come on, get on there. If you can do it better than me. There we go. And then press that back on there and it locks into place. You can wear it like this. You can wear both colors if you want. Again, this frame comes in the 53 and the 55, and of course they all come with an extra pair. Come on, get off of there. An extra pair of temples, so you can change these out if you're doing sports or other activities. Ones that you're going to sweat more than others, you can change them out. But let me put this back on there and continue, shall I? And lock that in there. Now I'm going to pop out your original demo lenses. One says Oakley, the one says interchangeable nose pads. We talked about that. Come on, don't you remember? So I'm going to pop these out. And you're going to get all the manufacturer's original packaging. Take your frame, put it into the tracing element of my blocker. Program the shape into the computer 2196 so that years from now, should you need new lenses, I can pull up the shape in my computer database and mail them right to your home. Hit the start button, a little stylus is going to pop up, go around, trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame first before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy any genuine, authentic Oakley frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number on there, so if you have unused health savings account flex dollars or insurance, all you have to do is submit my receipt and you will get reimbursed from your insurance company or health savings account flex dollars. So that is the shape I'll be cutting. We're going to move on to the next screen. We have to enter your pupillary distance, which is 70 for both eyes. Divided by 2 is 12. No, wait, divided by 2 is 35. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to tap the plus button. It goes up in 0.5 millimeter increments till we get to 35. I'm going to raise the optical center up 2 millimeters to 20. We're going to go 2 above and do 20. So let's go ahead. I'm hoping that's your right lens. Coming from the lab, it's marked that way. You have a -5 sphere. So I'm going to let's start off with 0. Yep. Put it on power drum on -5. Put your lens in. And normally I would rotate it till the spherical component came into view first. But this being a spherical lens, it's the same power all over. I'm going to rotate the axis and verify that. I'm going to put, got to get that lined up better. My eyepiece is moving on me. And let's clean those off. We're going to use just that center dot. Put that onto the platform. Do the same thing now for the left eye. I do have to dial in the axis wheel to 175. Put the power drum on -4 1/4. Put the lens in, rotate into the spherical component, comes into view first. That's the -4. Check your astigmatism correction, make sure everything is lined up perfectly. Find the optical center. -575, that's good right there. We're going to hit that button, put 3 dots on your lenses. And let's darken them so you can play along at home. 1, 2, and 12. And that is the left lens. Now, if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. That joke's for me. I don't care if y'all don't laugh at it. I'm going to laugh. I don't care about y'all. So this is a block. I need to attach this to your lens, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach 2 double-sided adhesive stickers. Imagine that. I've got 2 of them right here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick this one onto the first block, place that onto the platform, do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to expose the sticky double side of that. Now on the back is a silver button that is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. And the reason why I put on 3 dots on the other ones, it tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly. We're going to get everything lined up. The blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. I raised the optical center up 2 millimeters because it's going to sit in front of your pupil. I always like to check to make sure the lens is large enough, and it is. And hit that button, the arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the lens that ain't right, which I can identify with. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky, line up the magnet. Now, the left side has mirrored the right, which is fine because your pupillary distance, we divided in 2, 35, 35, same optical center height of 20. I don't have to change anything there. I know I got some smudges on there. That's going to get cut away. But the reason why I put those 3 dots, it tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly. So we're going to get everything lined up. I'm going to move this. This is the platform it sits on. And that little post was in the way. So I want to move it out of the way so I can see all 3 dots go on that line perfectly. Man, the kid is good. Going to make sure the lens is large enough. Hit the button. The block comes down and is placed onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work. Look, I got a little friend watching me. He's hanging out on your cloth. How about that? Hope you're not afraid of whatever bug that is. That's pretty cool. But hey, I don't need any sidekicks. Although he is a little comic relief. I need to dub in some audience laughter here. But this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, put it on the back of your favorite large sea turtle, and then you can cut your own lenses while floating around the oceans. Yeah, I know, that didn't make any sense. But hey, I tried. I took a shot. So the actual cutting wheel is this diamond-crusted wheel that's going to grind away your lens material till it's the final size from this size down to this size. Of course, that's the wrong lens. Let's do this size. Right for right. This wheel in the center is going to put the V-shaped bevel so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I'm going to wake up the computer. Job ID number 2196. 2196. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens, but I am going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And I'm going to do something a little differently here. This is always usually marked auto. I'm going to put it on the manual setting, that little hand. I do want to, this has just enough wrap versus usually most frames that are straight. So I want to override and tell the machine where to place the bevel. So press that on there firmly. The magnet's going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck, or by now you know I like to call it the Charles, because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Hit the green start button. The door closes. That dirty door, I should have cleaned that. The clamp shuts. The lens is going to be traced by 2 wide styluses, making sure that it's large enough to go into the right side of the frame. And you can see as it's doing that. And normally measures the thickness of the lens at every point to automatically know where to place the bevel, but I'm going to override that. Here's a screen you normally don't see. That is the shape of your lens. This, if you can believe, is your lens butterflied. If you were to cut it here, open it up, this will tell me the thicknesses at every point. That green line is moving. That's that part of your lens. That's that one. Now that's if I were to follow the front curvature, you would have 1.37 millimeters of thickness in the front of the bevel, 2.38 in the back. I can change all that. I can do a percentage where it's just 50-50 all the way around. No matter where I move it, you always have half. The thickest point is going to be over here, 2.42 millimeters on both sides of the bevel. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it on the front, on the base curvature of the lens. I'm going to check that. This is measuring a 4.60. So at this point you'll have 1.18 thick millimeters, 2.96 behind it. The thickest point is always up here in the corner, 1.09 millimeters, 3.73. But I'm just going to make a note that I'm going to cut this at 4.6. Cut at 4.6 front base curve. So we can hit the green button now, and then it just picks up like it does for my other videos. The lens will drop down onto the cutting wheel. The light you see flickering in the back is water to catch the optical sawdust that once the lens material is cut away, once it touches down onto the cutting wheel, that is. Now polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex lenses cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens for the duration of those materials. Now water will spray onto this lens, but only for the last 20 seconds to wash away the optical debris that you see beginning to form on the edge of the lenses now. As I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses, the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and from flying debris. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We also, speaking of protection, the Transitions XTRAactive will block 50 to 70% of the harmful blue light emitted from today's electronic devices. There's no other lens material that block as much blue light based on their own lens material. Now you upgraded to the Crizal Prevencia. Prevencia itself has an additional 25 to 30% ability to block blue light, so you're getting the maximum blue light protection with that combination, the Transitions XTRAactive with Crizal Prevencia. Now Transitions 7 and 8 block about 30 to 40%. The XTRAactive gray or brown or even green block 50 to 70% of the harmful blue light. Now if you notice, your lens is completely flat all the way around, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter. It's going to drop down onto the bevel wheel to get the knife-like edge, the V-shaped bevel. Your lens is going to be so sharp when this is done, so knife-like, that you'll be able to cut through a piece of wet tissue, providing you soak that tissue in a bucket of water overnight. Then using all your strength, take the lens, press down on that wet tissue, and you might be able to cut through it. Now the Crizal Prevencia is 3 treatments in one. The first treatment is that it reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead, fluorescent lights, and such. The second feature is that it reduces reflection. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, so it makes for much better eye contact. So water has begun spraying, which tells me it's in the last 20 seconds. In just a moment, a little lever is going to come out. At the end of that lever is a spinning disc that's going to apply the safety bevel to the back concave surface of the lens, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But speaking of reducing reflections, if you take a selfie, you're less likely to see your phone in the picture, or if someone else takes a picture with a flash, you're less likely to see that. The third feature is that it takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens for the Crizal Prevencia. It has to be washed and dried in between each coating. I'm going to open that door with my mind. And because of the time and the expense of having to put the 8 coatings, of course it goes through an acid bath and then is washed in a sterile room. So because of the time and the expense, Crizal puts the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. And now what you can't see is that the bevel is on the very front of the lens, following the curvature of the lens. So this fits in there with the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now I'll be shocked if this actually fits in there first time around. But the reason why I put the safety bevel on the back, now there's no rough edges on the front here that will come into contact with you because it's going to be embedded into the frame, seated in there. But should any portion of this lens protrude from the back of the frame, which it won't, but the reason why I put the safety bevel on, but if it does, it would be nice and smooth. The reason why I put the bevel on there is that as I tuck this lens in to see if it will fit first time around, and I do believe it will, if it were too large, I don't want any sharp edges from this surface of the lens to come into contact with your frame. Oh yeah, that is nice. That's nice. That's what I'm talking about. Love it when that happens. Hey buddy, if you're going to get up there, hit the L button, would you? Look, I got a little spectator. Yo, Buggy, Buggy, Buggy. Where's my flashlight? Let's make him the star of the show. I'm going to get him his own sitcom. He's going to have a spin-off where he's going to make safety goggles for other bugs out there. All right. Did I mention I'm easily distracted? So, flip that over to L. Press that on there firmly. Place the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or tonight I'm calling it the Way. No way, you say? I respond back, way. All right. Hit the green button, the door closes, the clamp shuts, which my mouth has never been able to do. And then it's going to go around, the 2 styluses are going to trace the shape to make sure the size is large enough to fit in there. Measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to then tell me all it's known that it has learned. But again, I'm going to go with the front base curve of 4.6. This frame has a curvature of 5. I don't have my base curve clock over here. So I match the shape of the lens, the curvature of the lens with the curvature of the frame, and hit start. All right, we'll put that there. Just like before, the door closes, the clamps hold the lens in place as it drops down onto the cutting wheel. One day, I promise, it'll drop down. Little by little. There we go. The other nice thing, since these had to be custom ground, you have a higher than average prescription. Now these are still polycarbonate lenses. You could upgrade to high index, but we didn't. But I had them make this a 1/0 center thickness. Let's go ahead and take this block off. Standard polycarbonate is 1.5 millimeters thick at the center where that black dot is. I had them make it 1.0 millimeters. Making it thin in the center helps thin it out at the edges as well. I am a licensed optician. I phone in every order to the lab, and if I have to have something custom made, I'm gonna have the best finished product possible at no extra charge to you. So, let's check the power above that black dot, and we are getting 5 diopters of power. You are nearsighted with your glasses off. Everything is much too large. You can still see your fingerprint like it ain't nothing. Can you see mine? So, you need, the unit of measurement is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, starting at 0, which we in the industry call plano, which people in Texas call a city. But it goes up in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on. You are on the 20th rung of a ladder. That is why your lenses have a minus sign. Your lenses minify an object down to its the correct size. Now for your left eye, you have 17 steps of far-sighted correction. 20 for the right eye, 17 for the left. Now once the object is the correct size, for your left eye, you have 7 additional steps of astigmatism correction. This first number minifies, the opposite of magnify, it will minify down to the correct size, then to take away the fuzzy edges. That's what uncorrected astigmatism is. It makes 6s and 8s look alike with the letters P and F. It is the fine-tune knob. You have 4 1/4 diopters this way and another 175 this way, and it's how we line those two curves up to make everything nice and crisp. We're going to turn that to the 175th meridian. A straight line is 0 to 90 to 180. We're going to turn that all the way to 175, 5 degrees away from the 180. So let's go ahead and check. Oh, no, can't. It's cutting. It's cutting. You're just going to have to wait. So when we add the two powers together, we're going to get a -6, which is 1 diopter stronger than your right eye. We may have to take this lens down a little bit more. It may not fit. It may not furt either, but it may not fit first time around. It could furt the second time, but it may not furt the first time. The time before the second one. You know, there is such a thing as decaffeinated coffee, but I don't believe in them. I needs me some caffeine. A yawn is a silent scream for caffeine. And there will be no yawning during this performance. Okay, so we're done. I am going to open this door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours, but then I can do it. So now I'm going to open up the chuck the way. Take that out. Dry that off. We're going to see if this fits in first time around. Run my thumbnail around to make sure all the schwarf, the optical sawdust, is off the lens. Pick up the frame. Tuck it in at the outside corner. Press down at the nose. Ooh, it don't want to go. It don't. It just don't. That extra power. See, this is what I thought was going to happen the first time around. So we're going to take it down 1/10 of a millimeter. I said 1/10. Press that back in there firmly. Place the magnet back into the way. Hit retouch. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, but instead of going to the cutting wheel, it's going to drop down to the bevel wheel. And it's going to take 1/10 of a millimeter off, going around the, where's that Oakley line? There it is. Going around the circumference of the frame until it fits in there easily. Like that. Pop this out. So, that's the reason why I put a safety bevel on there. I don't want any sharp edges going around the bevel of your frame. That's right, it's yours. I bought it from Oakley, and then I'm selling it to you. Actually, technically, I guess it's still mine until I mail it. And you will be getting a mailing label very, very soon. How soon? Very, very. So here comes the safety bevel. It's a fine disc, very fine wheel, just like this one. And it's going to go around and smooth off any rough edges left over from the cutting surface. Come out, wherever you are. There you is. This lens is lonely. It's part of a pack. It likes being around others. Let's reunite it. And yes, I'm scraping off the schwarf and then dropping it on the floor. So, let's see if it fits this time around. We're going to tuck it in at the outside corner, pressing out the nose. Now it snaps in there easily. Let's take this block off. Pull that away, peel the sticker off, use my hand-approved drying method, throw that in there, add to my Stickeroni collection. And look, by the way, you have 6 diopters of combined power. Look at that, no edge thickness whatsoever, based on your frame, your prescription, and this, and your PD, I should say. So, we're going to come down here, put the axis wheel, it's still on 175. I did not need to move it to check your right lens. Put it in over that dot. Dial in the power, the 3 lines, and we're getting -4 1/4, 1 tick mark away from 4. You have 4 1/4, another 1.75 diopters. When I read that, we're getting 6 diopters. Man, that kit is good. So you have a PD of 70. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb on your right lens. When we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 70 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. Check the optical center height of 20 to the middle, not the bottom of the lens, but the middle of the frame itself. We're getting 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters. Man, the kit is good. This is the first pair I've ever cut, but it's a good thing I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So, this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that there's free shipping anywhere in the US, and Brooklyn's in the house is still in the US, so there's free shipping there. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, I'm going to put these in because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3, that bottom of the frame. So I put them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. Normally when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down when it's any other frame, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Now, you have what's known as pilot temples. They go straight back. Now, they do have curvature to the frame, so it wraps around your head and grips, but they're called pilot temples because if you were to wear a helmet, World War II fighter pilots, they would have to take their helmet on and off to slide their sunglasses on. So these will slide onto any helmet, motorcycle helmet, so be it. And because of that, they almost stay level. Now, normally every other pair of glasses I have, they wobble on the counter, but these sit level on me. I am wearing the 813, I think I am. I can't see what I'm wearing with my glasses off. This is the 8132 color in the 54 eye size. This also comes in a 52. This is color 04 Universe Blute. Listen to me. Blue orange. I'm all about some blue. But I was so disappointed to find out that my universal remote does not indeed control the universe. Not even remotely. Alright, I'm going to work on that and get back to you. But let me just slide mine back on. My blues and orange. Although I've got a new Oakley coming. I'm getting the crosslink pitch. I think that's what it's called. And there'll be a video of that coming up soon. But let me flip these over. Press down. There is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly. And they do. That neither temple is askew like that. Now, by the way, this frame, this Oakley 8136 crosslink fit sells for $213, tax free, with how much for your lenses? Free prescription lenses with the purchase of any frame. The Transitions XTRAactive in gray or brown adds $129.99. The Crizal Prevencia adds $119.99 for a total of $462.98. Now, the other nice thing about purchasing from me, I am in North Carolina. North Carolina considers eyeglasses a medical device. There is no tax on medical devices. So if you were to buy these from anywhere else, now the state tax, sales tax in my state is 7.5%. Let me type that in there, times 7.5. I don't know what it is for other states. But you would pay an additional $34.72 if you were to buy these from someone else. These are always tax-free when you buy from me, and free shipping. But I send out selfie requests to have your picture on the website. I wish you would send me 2 pictures, one with them clear inside, one with the Transitions XTRAactive activated when you're on the streets of Brooklyn, to show me that Brooklyn is in the house. But I also send out cleaning instructions, not only on your frame and lenses, so they will last you for years, but on the premium microfiber cleaning cloth that I provide, your Oakley cleaning cloth that is in here, which also doubles as a carrying bag. If you don't want to carry this case around, you can put your frame into the bag, cinch it shut, and you can carry it around that way. But I also send out instructions on how to care for your Crizal cleaning cloth, so it too will last you for years. No other seller on the internet does that, I am told. So I field test every cleaning cloth to make sure that it works. So when you get this in the mail and you see that wrinkle, I'm going to try and catch that bug and put him in the box. I don't know where he went. He's got to be around here somewhere. Oh, Buggy, where are you now? So, But this is what your lenses look like the first time before they have been activated. I'm exposed them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. And as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. A little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now everyone else watching, pay attention. All transition lenses get dark on day 1 and will continue to darken. Every day for the first 2 weeks they're exposed to the sun. After that they will work for years at maximum performance. The only time the transition signature 7 and 8 won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why they won't turn dark in a car. Now, these transitions XTRAactive will get 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield. Also, transition 7 and 8 will get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I like to remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. Having said that, these transitions XTRAactive will get darker in hotter weather. It's designed for XTRAactive people who spend extra amounts of time outside. So in the hotter states like California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, and anyone else, these are almost a must-have, because in the dog days of summer you want a really dark lens, and these will do it. So as I keep talking, you'll see them getting lighter and lighter. And if you've liked what you've seen, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon so you will get future notifications as I upload videos. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com, on Twitter as freerxlenses. If you have any questions like Wade did about how to order Oakleys from me, go to the contact me page of the website and just tell me what frame you want, the size, the color. I will check on the price and availability and get back in touch with you. You can also leave a question or comment in the comment section below. So Way in Brooklyn, New York, thank you so much for the purchase of your Oakley 8136 Crosslink Fit, size 53. It also comes in a 55 eye size, and color 03 Satin Pavement. It also comes in about 5 or 6 more colors. But with your RX polycarbonate transitions XTRAactive gray lenses with Crizal Prevencia, and now everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.